I now. Okay.
We are all the way here.
Mm, thank you.
Energy flowing,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoying the process. There have been so many wonderful events, experiences, manifestations. And I've been really feeling like what I wanted to create is happening. So it's been good feeling that energy. Yeah.
It is.
Um, the course that I created with these other two women is really doing well. The people are really responding nicely, and um, there's been some awesome discussions about deep spiritual like solutions to things, opening of the heart. People willing to jump into their resistance and kind of work through it, let it go, and um, yeah, so it's really been good. I've really enjoyed that. So that's been great. And then but the thing that I wanted to kind of ask about is why am I so busy? I know one time we talked about like, well, it's a way I get value or appreciation, or I think if I work hard or I do this, I'm worth something. But um I wanna I've gotten approval to hire somebody at my job to help me, and the people who have come through, they don't feel like the right person yet.
Yet.
Yet. And the work just keeps like piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up. And I've explained, that I need help, and um but it's like I have to find the help, which is okay, but it's hard to do that while I'm in the middle of working. Like I'm not sure exactly how to like just put some balance here because it feels a little bit overwhelming. A little bit.
Of course, in those moments of being overwhelmed, that's not when you're trying to figure it out. So you felt the experiences, you felt the options, and nothing is quite clicking. But we also want to ask you, have you defined in thought, in feeling, in state of being what you want from this?
I have to a certain extent, not to complete clarity, not to complete clarity.
Well, let's
I,
focus there because the more clear you get there, then it's going to shift, of course, the people who show up and what it all means. And everyone who has shown up for you is giving you more inspiration, more ideas to add to the picture of what you want until it is complete and ready. And when it is complete and ready here, energetically, experientially, then it will be complete and ready, showing up for you in the perfect timing.
mm,
But of course, when you're frustrated, when you're overwhelmed, when you're feeling like there's too much to do,
yeah,
what energy are you focused on? What are you bringing to you? And so
yeah,
we're not saying that you have to be clear all the time because we know there's are things going on, and the more you connect with that clarity earlier on, the easier it is for everything to line up and for you to get it all done. But the focus, just do it at a time when there is the non-resistance.
yeah.
So after meditation, at a good time when you're walking and breathing fresh air and feeling nice. But let's talk about the components that you've already gathered.
Yeah, so the components I've gathered are I would like someone who is enthusiastic about um, the job, who wants to work in a kind of fast paced, um, kind of everything isn't totally defined, systems aren't in place, someone who's willing to step in and help set up some systems, who's willing to help organize, who's willing to kind of do what needs to get done, both in the office management side and in the accounting side or bookkeeping side of things. I want someone who feels like this could be an opportunity for them to grow and to perhaps move into another position because the company is growing and is going to continue to grow. Um, I want somebody who feels like just, you know, invigorated, somebody who will ask questions, someone who will just see what needs to get done and kind of do it, but be collaborative about it. Um, I want somebody who is young. I know that sounds crazy, but I and I wondered about that because I
But
want somebody.
instead of trying to figure it out and get into that, what is it about the youthfulness that is appealing to you? And it's twofold. You're defining it in your mind, and you're also defining it energetically. Looking into the specifics of it is going to help fill that out.
Okay, that's good. That's helpful. Yeah, someone who is energetic and um, has that sort of a sense of humor and perhaps um, doesn't take things too seriously, but um, like just brings light and levity, to the situation and you know, likes to have fun, likes to, you know, um, do happy hours or whatever. Someone who fits with this culture of this sort of very, you know, forward-looking technology company that's very environmentally, clean and people who care about a person who cares about the mission, to recapture carbon, but also a person who, really feels like this is how they're going to make a difference. And I think that that's sort of that millennial generation or the younger generation, they have this sense of, you know, desire to help with climate change. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Indeed. And do you feel the essence?
I do feel the essence. I do. I feel that there's a spark there of of this is a great opportunity. This is a great company. These are, really forward-looking people and, I want to support them and, help to push this mission forward. Yes.
So now you know what to look for.
Yeah.
It's that spark.
Yeah.
So when you're having the conversation, interviewing someone for the position, if we want you to have that be your intention for what to recognize, and then if you recognize something else, that's
Mhm.
all right, because you may find someone who is a little off kilter, who is a little eager and optimistic, but not totally refined and polished, and who will have that spark. And it is only when you recognize the spark that you will recognize this person
Mm.
as the one.
Mhm.
So keep your eye out for that.
Yeah.
But to keep affirming that spark before every interview, say to yourself, I'm intending to find the spark. And if it
Mm.
isn't there, then it moves on.
Yeah.
You say the same thing to anyone who wants to find a romantic partner. You find what you want, you define it, you place the intention, and then you look for it. And if it isn't there, you don't make it about them or try to change them. In other words, you're not going to hire someone who's the exact opposite out of desperation and try to make them find that spark.
No.
You just
Mm-mm.
recognize the spark.
Okay. Okay, good. That's really helpful, Joseph. Thank you, because I think that's what I was almost feeling like it's not a like tangible thing on a resume, It's more of a
The essence.
attitude.
Yes,
Yeah. So that's what was kind of throwing me. So that's really good. Thank you.
it is.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Hi, Anson. Oh, can't hear you.
I was mute. I'm sorry. Hello.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
That's all right.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Joseph always says that, right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Um, I did have one other question about kind of the lunar energies, the eclipses, and then coming up with I mean, not with the full moon and the eclipse, right? And then what happens when was there an eclipse of the moon? Now I'm totally lost. Yes, there was. So what happens with the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses? What is the deal with the energies? What kind of energy does that kind of support?
Intensification, alignment. So and you can make of it as a game. It's happened. The energy is present now, intensified, cresting, and continuing to express. So you just use that to harvest and
Mm,
to place the intention for the next steps.
mm,
So, whether you're looking at it or even right here in this moment, when there are those alignments, they are times of opportunity.
hmm. Because the energy is more potent or more um, direct or
Direct, yes,
yeah,
focused, everything clicking into a
focus.
place. It's an alignment, and they
Yeah.
are happening all of the time.
Hmm.
And you can look into the influences and so forth specifically. But most importantly is we want you to place the intention to connect, to receive that information, that inspiration, and to open, and whatever information is revealed to you is the byproduct of all of that and more. So rather than needing to look at it from the outside in, you can receive the benefit of any alignment by being aware of your own state of being, by letting your thoughts fall away, and the space between the thoughts, whatever's coming up, is whatever's being called forward. And that's a wonderful opportunity to place new intent.
Mm, mm. New intent, yes. Yeah. It just feels like for the past week, maybe, or 5 days or something, that there's been some kind of intensification of the energy. And um, I haven't been sleeping as much. And I wake up and I'm happy to be awake. So I'm awake and I'm happy to go on my day. But then in the evening, I feel like I've not accomplished everything I want to accomplish and I'm tired. So I'm not sure if it's because I'm resisting things or whether and not using the energy or whether I'm just not sleeping enough. It's
Yes, a little bit of all of it. But if you find yourself awakened and not able to fall back into that sleep, ask, because this is the perfect time, especially as the world is quiet, especially as your body is quiet and your thoughts are relatively quiet. You ask, is there anything for me to do now? Is there any reason that I've been awakened? Is there any reason that this is intensifying? And
mm,
because you are so still and receptive, it's so much easier to receive. Now, what may and often does happen is you'll be in that state, you'll ask the question, you'll find the receptivity and the relaxation. And as you're opening, receiving, you'll go back into slumber and the answer will come to you in your dreams.
mm,
Or you may be stimulated to do something right there and then. But
mm.
whatever it is, that is the perfect time for you to hone and to practice that receptivity.
That's cool. Yeah. Um, so speaking of dreams, I had this dream maybe like a week ago or less than a week ago, but I woke up in this like panic because it's so ridiculous. I felt like there were Chinese people chasing me. I didn't know, like, it was so ridiculous. I was like, what is going on here? but these are like, it felt a little bit like they were spies and they were trying to capture me, and I couldn't get away from them, and then they were going to torture me. Um and I woke myself up and from that dream, and I did ask, like, what was that? And the only thing that I could feel was like this sense of being, maybe like being chased by something that I didn't want, or chased by something that I was feeling was gonna snatch me and kill me. It was pretty intense. Were
It
there
is
Chinese
fear.
people after me?
Ever not.
There, thank you. Just want to make sure no aliens either.
So these dream experiences are you symbolizing, interpreting your thoughts, your beliefs. There can be interactions with others as well, but it is happening through your symbolic repertoire, if you would, as a means of communication. And so that is just an embodiment, a realization, a symbolization of a fear.
Okay. Yeah, I was totally scared. That's for sure.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Anson.
So you said that's a symbol of fear. Now I'm always have a recurring dream that someone is trying to like hijack me in my truck all the time because I'm in a wheelchair, so I feel helpless in this dream. And it's like I'm driving or I stop somewhere and somebody's trying to either take my truck or take me or something. And I when I wake up, I'm like, what is that about? So now that you said that, I have to look at that and see where's the fear at.
It is the fear of having your mobility taken from you. And
Mm,
to find that resolution, it's just going into that sleep state and placing the intention.
mm,
You say to yourself as you're laying down, I intend for the energy to flow well. I feel I'm going to wake up refreshed, and I want to receive value from these dreams, and I want to move into greater understanding, and I want to have new inspiration come to me, a new revelation. And then that's the point that you let go and start to flow. And you'll find the resolution. The dream will find its resolution, which will then translate into your experience.
mm.
So when we wake up from these dreams and we know that we're in a state of panic or fear or whatever, it's so uncomfortable, asking ourselves to, like, placing an intention to awaken refreshed, awaken, you know, um, with a greater understanding of what that means, in that moment, saying that to ourselves.
It is far easier to make the suggestion to yourself before you sleep.
Ah,
You
ah.
can try to figure it all out and dissect it and analyze it in the waking state, but it is far easier for you to place that intention before you fall asleep and then to wake up and have the realization be something that is personal for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There will always be a resolution. The only reason that the dream is recurring in that state is because there has not been the acceptance of the resolution. And it's very easy for you to make that understanding by moving into the dream state.
What is the resolution? Like, is the resolution that you don't feel fear, you feel love?
It can be. It is very much depending on the situation. For Anson, here we see the resolution coming as the form of, in the dream state, taking flight, of being free, of being able to perform feats that are astounding. And
Cool.
and they become enjoyable. But we don't want to tell these sorts of things to you to have you say, okay, I'm going to fly in my dream tonight, because that's not the point of this intention. The intention is to find resolution, and it's going to look different from day to day and from dream to dream. And it will become enjoyable
Hmm. Hmm.
as you allow it to shift and change.
Well, thank you for just even suggesting that because that's very cool. I mean, for a resolution to be so much of the sort of opposite end of the spectrum in a way, you know, so much joy and feeling light and, that's that's cool. That's really cool.
And so you can use the dream state as a sort of testing ground, if you would. You place the intention, you see all of the wonderful experiences that you have, and then you carry that feeling into your waking state, evoking it as often as you can. And it just makes it easier to continue to refresh yourself. So think of it as a playground, an experimentation, a laboratory, if you would, but we don't want you to get in your head about it. It's a playground. It's a place to experiment with different energies and different experiences and different conversations and different approaches. But unless you're allowing yourself to find the resolution, then you'll find yourself much as you would if you're having the same difficult conversation with a coworker day in, day out, day in, day out. It is the same as a recurring dream. They're both coming from that state of being that hasn't been resolved. The dream state is, again, just an easier arena to have those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
to remember the essence as you're coming into waking state, and to hold on to it, to enjoy it, to focus on it.
It makes me think about something else that this new CEO who's part of the company that I'm working with, he came in and, I was used to working with the previous guy, and I'm like, I want to find a way to mesh with this new guy, like he has a great sense of humor. He's a nice guy. There's nothing wrong with him. But I want to find a way like to have that smooth relationship, that easy relationship, that, kind of, you know, um, confident relationship. And that's my intention. And from what you just said, I realized that I have not set that intention for that relationship. I was just sort of letting it show up. And now I recognize that if you could do it in your dream state, you could do it in your waking state too.
You can't.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's kind of cool too.
Everyone has at least two sides to them. And if you're just taking it as it comes, you're going to get a little bit of everything and just say that that's the type of person that this person is. But
Right.
if you are holding the focus, whether it's about that person or just in general, you're holding your state of being, then they can turn to someone next to you, blow a fuse, be very upset, and then turn to you and say, hope you have a wonderful day, and then continue on.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. It really is about us, you know, expressing our own energy, like shining our own energy, radiating our own based on what it is that we want to create our intention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give them all so much credit, so much more credit than is
Mm-hmm.
necessary.
Yeah.
And once you give them the credit for your experience, we know it's a double-edged sword, as it is called. You can shift focus, you can pass the buck or the blame, if you would, to someone else and say they just are this way. But as soon as you do that, you've given away part of your power. You've given away part of your freedom and your creative abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many who will agree with you. There are most who will agree with you. And if you believe it, you'll continue to draw people to you who agree with you, a whole chorus of voices agreeing with you. But every time you dig into that and say that that's just how they are, you're giving a little bit more of your ability away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm recognizing that. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's we really do have a choice about how we experience almost everything.
Yes. And then don't give them the credit when they come to you laughing and smiling either.
Right, right, right. Mm-hmm. That's a good point too. Yeah. Thank you for that.
What does it all boil down to? Does this boil down into looking at everyone and figuring out how you're going to shift your energy to get the right response from them? Of course not.
No.
It's the same thing that we're always talking about, achieving and maintaining that state of being. That's what this conversation is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. From the start of our conversation this evening, it has been, what am I doing about my intention about what it is that I want, what it is about my perception about my connection to my inner energy.
So easy, so
Yeah.
simple. And then if you start getting pushback from someone, you don't need to get into the technicalities of how this whole process works, but just ask yourself, how does this feel? Do I want to lean in or do I want to lean out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that decision is what shifts your energy. That decision is what gives you the new experience. That decision is how you evoke new behavior from them. But if you push back,
Mm-hmm.
you're in that same circuit. If you push back or push against or argue with or try to debate or try to convince someone, you can tell by the way that that feels that you're on a different level. You're in a
Yeah.
different state.
Yeah.
Mm.
You tell how it feels. You tell by how it feels. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And there's no like magnitude of I want to say like there's no magnitude of difficulty in the sense that any experience is the same choice. It's the same opportunity to remain in the inner energy.
Whatever is being drawn to you is your next step.
Yeah.
Whatever is coming up because you have drawn it to yourself.
Yeah.
So you can push it away, but it'll come back
Yeah.
another form, another time.
Right. Right. Like you said the my ridiculous dream about being chased by Chinese people um is about the fear. So that fear that was coming up for me there, that feeling of somebody was gonna, you know, kill me or trap me or I couldn't escape, that fear, that feeling could come up in a different way or maybe it's is present in my waking state, but only in my sleeping state would I kind of allow it to, I don't know, come up.
Yes. Because it can come up and you can push it away. It can come up, you can push it away. It can come up and you'll push it away. And then it shows up in your dreams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I definitely want to explore that feeling a little bit because I feel like that could be a big resolution for me to resolve that feeling. So
So it's easy.
mhm.
You are relaxing in bed and you say, I'm going to wake up with lots of energy. I'm going to let my inner guidance move me through the dream state. I'm going to be shown what's important to me. I'm going to enjoy the dreams and then I'll wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple, easy.
Very much.
Yeah.
One time, you let it go, you release your consciousness. And because you've placed the intention, now the ball is rolling and you get to experience it in the dream state. But if you're going into your dream with the television on and sort of a half-eaten sandwich and you're confused about things and you're trying to force yourself to go to sleep, you're
Mm-hmm.
carrying all of that in, and now it has to resolve itself within the dream state. And then you wake up on the other side with the emotion recognizing all of that. So
Yeah.
you can even create a routine for yourself as well if you're wanting to maximize the goodness of your sleep. And instead of closing your eyes and going to sleep to escape anything, or you're looking around your bedroom and saying, this is all bothering me, but I'm going to go to sleep and I'll deal with it in the morning. Well, if you can put yourself into the state where you're maybe an hour, maybe 20 minutes before your time of intention of sleep, doing whatever you can to put yourself into that relaxed, receptive, ease filled, good feeling state. And then the transition into the dream state will be enjoyable, and the transition into the wake state will be enjoyable as well. And
Mm-hmm.
you can continue to practice this enough and enough and enough that there is a sort of seamless transition from waking into dreaming and back into waking. And it's all part of your creative process of having all of these different opportunities to mix and match and
Mm.
have that creative playground. So you take that time, and whether it's a bath or cleaning your surroundings or listening to relaxing music or doing whatever you can, and you can make it the same thing every night. You can shift it as things change, but whatever you can, so that you know that when you wake up, when you open your eyes in the morning, it'll be nice.
Mm.
It'll be a nice return.
Mm.
It'll be a nice environment to begin to create within. And that will give you the relief that will allow you to enjoy and to make the most of your sleep. It will give you the freedom that will allow you to not only make the most of your sleep in terms of the physical refreshment, but also in terms of the intellectual creative exploration. And then when you reemerge into the physical waking in that state, it's wonderful.
Yeah. That sounds fabulous.
Indeed.
Yeah. I definitely want to do that. Uh, One thing that I do is almost every night I'll walk outside and just look up at the stars as long as it's not snowing or rainy or cloudy and just like feel that connection. Like there's just such a beautiful like connection with the stars at night that I can feel in my heart, like gratitude, appreciation for being alive. Just looking at that night sky. I don't know. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So that always like brings me right to, the energy of love. And I think that I'm going to incorporate that into this sort of, you know, winding down kind of time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And you can place the intention if you're feeling the energy, say, I intend to carry this into my dream state and even enhance it even more and wake up feeling it strongly as well.
Yeah. 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 That's awesome. Okay. Ooh, I love it.
Indeed. And then you wake up and you're feeling wonderful and all of your ducks are in a row and you've had a refreshing sleep and you've had new revelations come to mind and you feel the energy, you feel the eagerness as you're getting up out of bed. And then it's so much easier to just keep that ball rolling and keep that ball rolling and keep that ball rolling, and it'll express itself throughout the day for you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you so much. That really just like kind of went out to um, Yeah, a lot of things in my life right now. So thank you.
And it'll all be brought into resolution in that sleep state, because you can do so many things with that flexibility and that freedom that you'll be able to discover by just placing that intention.
Mm, okay. So I have another intention that I just wanted to share with you guys. So David and I are going to celebrate our 40-year wedding anniversary on Saturday, and I kind of want I want everybody to be there. I mean everybody, like physical and non-physical. Like I want them all to be there. Like I know some people can't, like in my life, because they live far away and they can't come and all that, and that's fine. But in some way I'd like all these like beautiful souls and all these beautiful people who
Mm,
we've known to be a part of this. And so I would like to ask for that, but I'm not exactly sure how to ask for that.
Intend it.
Is it intended? Is it
It is.
I
okay?
I was just about to say it's your intention, so put
Okay.
that out there. You in,
Okay.
you put that intention there, and
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. That's very congratulations, and I think that's awesome.
Indeed.
Thank you, Anson. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like it's something we created together that needs to be celebrated, that's calling to be celebrated.
Indeed.
And it's so nice that our kids and our friends will be able to join us, those who can. But there's like my mother and my father and my brothers and like all the people on the other side who I want to be here too. I'd love for them to be a part of this. So that's my intention, that they'll all join. And David's family, his mother and father and everybody on the other side. So yeah, I will intend that. I'm
And so it
intending.
is.
So it is.
And you can always have physical representations if you please. You can light a candle in that memory. You can have
Yes.
something to remind you, to call your attention and your focus to it, but it's the intention that gets it all flowing.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Yeah, all our guides, you know, all all the angels, earth angels and heaven angels. Like all of them, kind of want them to be a part of this.
Just
And
invite them in.
okay, you're all invited. I will. I actually want to sit down and do that intentionally. So
Indeed.
do that. There's a
Please,
lot of love
please
there.
take a please take a big group picture and share with us.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea. I
Yes, you
was
may see
telling.
some visitors as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
That's so
might see some
cool.
lights, some lights, some shining lights around the area there, so that people were there
That's
in the
so
picture.
cool. That's right. I've noticed that in other pictures. That's great.
Hmm.
Um, I was telling Aaron that we're gonna have some Cajun music, which I'm really excited about. Like music and dancing and just, um, joy. That's what when I think of music, I always
Yes.
think of joy. Music is joyful. So
Oh yes.
yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I don't have any other questions tonight, but I'm here if you do, Anson, or Joseph wants to say anything.
I'm good. I enjoyed it.
Very much.
Remember to my intention is very important.
It
Ah,
is. It sets everything in motion, always. And
mhm.
it's easier for the non physical to respond to it, because that is how it's all being seen, communicated. You move through intention. You
That's
all
right.
do.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Very much.
thank you.
We've enjoyed this conversation.
Thank
And
you.
if you'd like, we will meet you in the dream as well, placing that
Yes.
intention,
Yes. Come.
joining it,
Yes.
having fun, exploring the energetic realms together as you wish.
Thank you. Please, let's do it.
That'll be awesome.
And
We
so it
all
is.
should meet up in our dreams one time.
Indeed.
All
And
right.
as you place that intention, it is.
It is.
It is.
See you later,
Yes.
Anson.
See you later. See you in your dreams.
That's right.
We have enjoyed this conversation and we will see you there as
Yes.
well. We are complete.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right, Aaron. We're going flying tonight.
Hello.
Oh, we're meeting in the
Yeah.
dream realm. Okay, let's do it.
Yes. Let's
Yep.
do it.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
It was.
I
Yeah.
like
Thank
that too.
you.
Just listening in. I'm gonna do that. Be more
Yeah.
deliberate with like the setting down of everything, the winding down. I'm gonna put my phone on the other end of the room.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a peace of mind as well. And rather than sleeping with it.
Yeah.
My phone.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. Well,
Uh,
thank you guys. It was really
nice
nice.
seeing ya.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Hey,
All
I'm
right.
thinking about
And
rolling
happy
these back.
anniversary again.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm thinking about rolling these back maybe an hour earlier. How would y'all feel about that?
I think that's doable.
It's
Okay,
fine.
I'll
Yeah.
contemplate. I'll feel it out. I'll ask Joseph, but
Yeah, it's doable for me. Thank you
okay,
for asking.
definitely. Well, happy anniversary. I'll see y'all next
Thank
week.
you. See you next week, you
See you
guys.
next week.
Bye
All right,
bye.
guys. Thank you. Bye bye.